Imagine a letter sitting on your kitchen counter. It's from your bank, or maybe a credit card company. Every time you see it, your stomach tightens. You know what's inside. The reality of your debt, the confirmation of a late fee, the truth you're desperately trying to ignore. So, you don't open it. You move it, you stack other mail on top of it, and in that small act of avoidance, you create an invisible, temporary wall of safety. For millions of people, this is how financial life is managed. It is a quiet, hidden struggle, transforming economic difficulty into a profound challenge to health and self-worth. This deliberate choice to minimize money problems by refusing to even think about them. This is the core of financial denial. This is not simple laziness or a lack of intelligence. This is a deep-seated psychological defense mechanism. It's our brain trying to protect us from immediate stress. But in the long run, this defense mechanism becomes the very thing that traps us, ensuring our financial situation spirals out of control while we pretend that the problem doesn't exist. Financial denial is formally defined as an attempt to cope with intense anxiety by actively sidestepping our financial realities. It is a proactive strategy to ignore negative information, and in behavioral economics, it's known as the ostrich effect, the instinctive urge to bury your head in the sand to avoid disturbing truths. The existence of denial is not hidden. It's confirmed through highly repetitive, observable behaviors. People caught in this cycle find themselves trapped in the same financial pitfalls, perpetually short of cash, constantly juggling which bill to pay next. They routinely incur late fees because the payment date was simply missed or ignored. But the most telling sign is what we call financial blindness. It's the refusal to look at key data points, avoiding opening bank statements or credit card bills. It's not knowing your current net worth. It's being unable to articulate your credit score, often until the moment you absolutely need it. Ignorance grants a fragile, short-term sense of peace, but that temporary psychological buffer guarantees that the financial system is crumbling in reality. So, why do we do this? Because the inability to confront financial reality is fueled by powerful, negative, internal states. The engine of denial is a potent mix of fear, shame, and anxiety. When we feel intense shame or embarrassment over our circumstances, it triggers low self-esteem and a paralyzing sense of helplessness. This is where financial experts identify the big lie. The lie is the profound conviction that our money problems aren't caused by external factors or a lack of skills, but by a major inherent flaw in our character, that we are lazy or stupid or fundamentally incapable. If you believe this lie, then any effort to manage money is perceived as futile, reinforcing the anxiety and actively preventing any corrective action. Furthermore, these patterns are often inherited, aligning with money avoidance scripts passed down from our families. For those caught in this, avoiding bills and bank statements becomes a misguided form of self-protection. If acknowledging reality confirms the big lie and triggers intense shame, the psychological relief of denial, the act of numbing out, becomes a powerful short-term defense. And the cost of this chronic avoidance is not just emotional. The stress generated by looming debt manifests physically, causing sleep problems, headaches, high blood pressure, and digestive issues. It even reduces our concentration and impairs our ability to make sound decisions. Denial doesn't freeze problems, it accelerates them. The moment we stop looking at our finances, the damage spreads across three crucial areas. First, the erosion of credit. The two most important components of your FICO score are your payment history, which makes up 35% of the score, and your credit utilization, 30%. By ignoring bills, we rack up late fees and miss deadlines, shattering our payment history. When debt is ignored, balances swell, pushing our utilization rate far above the recommended 30% threshold. A single 30-day late payment can cause a significant score drop. A lower score translates directly into a higher perception of risk by lenders. This means your future mortgage, auto loan, or business financing will come with significantly higher interest rates. The avoidance mechanism intended to reduce anxiety actively locks you into a higher lifetime cost of borrowing. Second, deterioration of mental health. There is a strong, cyclical relationship between debt and poor mental health. Financial stress often triggers or exacerbates anxiety, depression, and anger, and the cycle is self-reinforcing. Struggles with mental health may lead to impulsive, unwise financial decisions, like overspending for a temporary rush or withdrawing retirement funds for non-essential costs. This poor decision-making fuels debt growth, which in turn worsens the mental state, trapping the individual. Third, breakdown of relational trust. Denial is highly corrosive to personal relationships. Research has shown that conflicts over finances, along with conflicts over sex, are significant predictors of divorce 5 to 7 years later. Crucially, this is true even when controlling for the couple's actual objective wealth. The conflict itself, driven by denial and poor communication, is more damaging than the dollar amount of the debt. This behavior often manifests as financial infidelity, lying to a partner about spending, saving, or hiding financial accounts, fundamentally eroding the trust that every partnership relies on. The good news is that the pathway out of financial denial is systematic. It requires the shift from avoidance and blame to ownership and confrontation. Phase 1. Confrontation and ownership. The critical first step is to stop the blame game. Whether you are blaming external factors or blaming yourself, you must own up to past mistakes and areas of shortfall. To break the paralysis of denial, you must talk to someone, a trusted loved one, a certified financial planner, or a therapist. Next, you must directly counter financial blindness by taking a detailed inventory. Gather the facts, no matter how anxiety-inducing that process may be. This means listing all income and expenses, reviewing existing accounts, and checking your credit report to establish a clear picture of your actual financial standing. If the anxiety of looking at the documents is too intense, specialized therapeutic tools, such as the financial landscape, can be used to manage the stress during this process. Phase 2. Implementation of structure and resilience. Once the objective reality is known, you must establish a spending plan. A highly recommended and straightforward system is the 50 divided by 30 divided by 20 budget. 50% for needs, essential living costs like housing, groceries, and minimum debt payments. 30% for wants, non-essential, fun spending like dining out or travel. 20% for savings and debt paydown. This critical allocation is for building future savings and attacking debt above the minimums. Following budget creation, secure your foundation. The emergency fund. Denial often forces people to rely on high-interest credit during crises. A robust fund, ideally covering 3 to 6 months of expenses, mitigates unexpected costs without resorting to debt. A pro tip here: set up automatic transfers so the fund grows without conscious emotional intervention. Phase 3. Strategic debt attack. Finally, focus on strategic debt reduction. You have 2 proven strategies. The avalanche method, which prioritizes paying off the debt with the highest interest rate first, maximizing your savings over time, and the snowball method, which focuses on paying off the smallest balance first, providing quick, visible, psychological wins that boost motivation. When you start to see that debt vanish, the sense of accomplishment is priceless, breaking the shame-failure cycle of denial. Managing personal finance is not an innate talent, but a cumulative skill that requires continuous practice and regular evaluation. However, for those whose denial is sustained by powerful psychological obstacles, deeply ingrained money scripts, pervasive shame, or disabling anxiety, technical budgeting skills alone will be insufficient. In these cases, specialized professional assistance, such as financial therapy, is necessary to address the emotional roots. Therapists use tools like the financial genogram to map and identify the influence of family of origin issues, uncovering the inherited belief systems that dictate destructive behaviors. Ultimately, the confrontation of reality is the definitive cure for financial denial. By actively facing your financial status, you alleviate the source of chronic stress and cognitive impairment. Regaining control of your finances is synonymous with regaining control over your life, leading to fundamental improvements in emotional, physical, and relational well-being. The choice is clear. You can live in the fragile peace of denial, or you can step into the power of reality. Take that first step today. Simply open the letter. If this message resonated with you, start simple. Today, right now, check one number: your credit score, or your main bank balance. Take that one action that counters the denial. And if the information feels too overwhelming, know that you don't have to struggle alone. Find a professional who can help you take the next step. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss more valuable insights about finance,